Hello and welcome to Community Unity Now, the D Tycoon Show. Thank you for joining us. Our co-host, Trudy Leong, administrator of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, couldn't be with us today. She had to work. I am Bill Morton, president of the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce, and I'm here with our very special guest today, Robert Farrell.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We've done a lot of job fairs. In partnership with you and Siam Pasarly. Tell us about it.
So we've done 8 job fairs in a year and a half, mostly just Siam and I. And they've been called, we've had 3 titles, LevelUp, Hire-a-Refugee, and we did one called Entry-Level Job Fair. So we've done 3. The one we've done the most is LevelUp.
Okay, so what is the difference between the 3 different job fair series?
LevelUp, well, entry-level job fair was, as it sounds, it was for entry-level people just starting. Hire-a-Refugee, we focused on the refugee community. As you well know, there's been an influx of refugees and a lot of people from many other countries, and so we're trying to help them get work. And then LevelUp is for those who are working, but they want to level up in their career.
So it's more of a career fair than
Yes.
a job fair.
Yes.
Okay. So my favorite by far, because it's so innovative and it's the first one that I've ever heard of in the city of Chicago, is the Hire-a-Refugee job fair.
Okay.
You did it first. I
We
think
did that one first,
first out of anybody that I've ever heard of.
Oh, yes.
In the United States, anywhere.
I don't think there's ever been such a thing.
It's so creative, so innovative, so timely. It was so good, and it was able to help a lot of people. So tell me what's going on with the Hire-a-Refugee job fair.
Well, we're planning a new one called Hire-a-Refugee Job Fair or Resource Fair. We don't have the date on that yet, but the thing that makes our job fairs different from a lot of great job fairs that are going on, but what makes us unique is that we not only invite businesses, but we invite a lot of nonprofit agencies, social service agencies. We have an immigration lawyer that has joined us to help refugees with those issues, and we've done this from the beginning. We've invited businesses. We've also, our very first job fair, we had refugee-run businesses come and join us. And so we focus on that population because it helps. It helps them, and it helps the country, it helps the city when everyone's working. And sometimes refugees have different barriers than non-refugees, so we try to help break those down.
So I know that they're very well attended. I've been to, I believe, every single one.
You have.
Every single one.
We've been Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce has been a great help to us.
And there's so many migrants coming into the city of Chicago over this time since the pandemic. So there are so many people with so much need. So tell us about it.
Well, this is why we have the job fairs, to help those who are looking for work. Every day we get calls from people who are looking for work, and we do what we can to help them, and that's why we have the companies. But again, that's why we also have the social service agencies and other groups that can help them, say, with documentation issues or English classes. We've had Harry Truman College, for example, and Harold Washington College. Groups that can help not just with the work issues, but the day-to-day life issues, food, clothing, housing, all those things. And we invite these organizations to help. And many of the people from these organizations speak those languages.
And I make a note to every single one of these career fairs or job fairs to go to each table and to meet with all of the employers, potential employers, and all of the nonprofit organizations who provide the resources.
Yes.
Can you name some more of those nonprofit organizations?
So we've been sponsored by Global Executive Council, Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. Of course, you guys have been an amazing help. We're in partnership with Lincolnwood Chamber of Commerce, Illinois Muslim Chamber of Commerce, ACCI, and I'm sorry, Afghan Cultural Center Incorporated. They work with the Afghan community. We've even had the U.S. Army come. A lot of different organizations. Irish Community Services, and even though that's Irish, but they help all the communities. So there are a lot of great organizations.
The Indo-American.
ECAC, Ethiopian. Sorry, I'm forgetting, but ECAC, Asian American. We have so many organizations that have come. MIRA, Middle Eastern. Sorry, I'm not remembering, but MIRA, MIRA. They've come out. A lot of different organizations.
Also,
so many I can't remember.
Also, CETA.
CETA.
IDES.
Yes. Well, IDES is employment, but yes, IDES has come out. That's the Illinois Department of Employee Security. Great people. Illinois Department of Human Services has come out. IFCS has come out. We've had a lot of government agencies.
Chicago Public Library was hiring.
Chicago Public Library came out. Chicago Public School Transportation has come out. CTA came out. Misericordia. Honestly, we've had...
And the list goes on.
It does.
On. There's hundreds. There's literally hundreds over these.
There are a lot of different organizations. I mean, we've had 8 different job fairs going on our 9th. So yeah, we've had so many different organizations come to pitch in and help people get work.
So just to cap off this Hire-a-Refugee Job Fair that's so innovative and creative and the first of its kind in the United States as far as I know, what was your major challenge?
We've had 2 major challenges. One is if the job seeker is not documented, then the employers can't work with them, and that's just the law. So they have to have some sort of work permit, and those are easy to get. So again, if you are a refugee and you don't have the proper work permits, you should still come to the job fairs because these organizations may be able to help you. The other issue is language, and it's not necessary if you come from another country to be completely fluent in English, but you do need to have sort of a working ability to understand directions and ask questions or say what you need to say throughout the workday. So if you have no English at all, well, then you wouldn't understand this necessarily, but they do need to have a working level of English. And unfortunately, we had a lot of people who had no English at all.
So is this the reason why we're doing more of these career fairs than the Hire-a-Refugee Job Fair?
We have transition, and we're not giving up on the Hire-a-Refugee. We're not quitting that. We're still focusing on that community, but there are also a large number of people who are just they have work. They may be or may not be in the refugee community. They usually are documented. They usually have a strong work history. So I'll give you an example as it pertains to the refugee community. Just from right now, I had an Uber driver take me here to the studio. He is from Iraq. He's an accountant, but he doesn't have the licenses yet to work here. He's documented, but to get the particular licenses, that's what he needs. So a lot of people come in and they want to level up, so they come to our job fairs, they learn how to get those licenses. Or there are companies there are people who come in who are, say again, Uber drivers, but every time I take an Uber, I often get an immigrant and I ask, is this your only work, or do you do something else? And a lot of times they'll say, well, I'm in IT, or I'm in accounting, or I'm in healthcare industry, but I don't know how to break in. And so I give them my card, I look at their resume, and we have them come so they can level up from
so
where they are.
Could have been, and I've seen this before. We worked with USC and Dr. Rushi Hassan of many different organizations for refugees with disabilities over the past, I would say forever, 15 years at least. And we've worked with Jeff Watts of the Employment Opportunities Network.
I know Jeff, yes.
And he's helped out the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce put together some great job fairs on my former campaign office back when I was running and even before that. So through my adventures through these career fairs and this hiring, I've noticed that there are refugees or immigrants that were once, physicians, that were once, doctors, that were once whatever. They were very highly paid, highly trained, very much educated, and they're coming here and they're driving the Uber.
Yeah, and that's why we want them to level up, because they're highly, highly qualified people that come in, and I can't even imagine how difficult it must be to come to another country. You're dealing with the language, the culture shock, trying to understand so many things, how to get an apartment, how to get food, and you were at a very high level in your country, and to start from the beginning is really hard, and that's why we have Level Up, so that people like this who really have huge potential, huge professional experience, they can level up. They can find work that's appropriate for their skills, experience, abilities, history.
So let's talk about Siam a little bit.
Sure.
Tell me.
Yes.
Siam came over to my campaign headquarters. He lived right across the parking lot of the old Leona's. It used to be the Leona's restaurant on Sheridan Road. And so he was my neighbor. I was always in the office, and he was there, and he always used to come down, and we used to talk and everything. And he was doing an Uber thing too back then, because he needed a job, and he wanted to get his family. He wanted to get his family back, and he wanted to build himself back up. And he was a very very professional marketing. Was it marketing he was into?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, he's an example of someone who did a lot of things. He did huge events in Afghanistan, and I'll give you a little history of him. He was very, very successful. He had billboards up in his country of him with his face on it in his business. He worked with the president of Afghanistan and a lot of the government officials. He had these huge events. Thousands of people showed up. Then the Taliban took over. They destroyed all that, and he escaped. He literally escaped from the Taliban and came to the United States. There's a book, if I may, Escape from the Taliban, and then it's been redone as Unbreakable.
And Siam is the author of this.
Siam's the author of this.
Let me see that book.
Sure.
It's just Fear, Fighting Violence, and an Unclear Future. This is really something. Treatment, vaccinations, and medical checkups, and so on.
Yeah.
This is the story right here. You can probably find this in your library or ask for it at your library.
Yeah. So he's an amazing guy. I'll just say this. I love this guy. He is a brother to me. And so what happened was he escaped from Afghanistan. He went with thousands of others to Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, and he was vetted, made sure everything was okay. While he was there, he did a lot of things. He did translation classes. He worked with the Army to help them. He worked with his population to translating, teaching English. He did so many things, including books that he wrote, and I'll talk about that in a minute. He was the last person to go. It's crazy. It's in the book.
Well, we saw the footage of the airplane going, everybody hanging on the airplane, overcrowding the airplane, a lot of terror and tragedy going on in there, urgency.
Horrible situation.
And he was the last one to go?
No, he was the last one to leave Fort McCoy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the last person to leave Fort McCoy. Everybody left, and then he came to Chicago. He got a job, actually, the second day he was here. He's just an amazing guy. I've never met anyone, honestly, I'm not saying this, I've never met anyone with as much ambition and fortitude, but also this positive. He's one of the kindest people I've ever met, but he's also brilliant. So many good things I could say about Siam. But he got a job working with, the name is escaping me, I apologize, but he works with a social service agency, and he had been working on these books. He went to a writer's meetup. I at the time was also working on a book idea. We met. He asked if I would edit his books. I did, and so we came up with, this was, I've already shown you this, Escape from the Taliban. This is his story. And I'll just say something about this, that I was reading the manuscript. I was in his apartment with him. I was reading the manuscript. And I'm an author. I'm a teacher. I read all the time. And I'm reading this, and I turn to him and I go, "Did you get out of there okay?" Because it was such a compelling story. And then he had another book called Create Your Own Empire, and it's about how to start a business. But it was, the original version was actually, I told him one day, you actually have two books here. One is a motivational piece, and the other is a teaching piece or an instructional piece on how to start your own business. So we said, well, let's do two books. So we turned it into two books. So this is our book. You see us both on the cover, Be Your Own Boss, and be a boss, not just a leader. And this is a motivational piece. It's a lot of fun. And then if you are planning to start your own business, this is all him. He wrote this, and these are the steps for starting a business, starting events like job fairs, for example. And the literal step-by-step, there is a literal checklist in here you can check off, and it'll tell you how to do that.
So let's just kind of flip this a little bit. So his family was back over there.
So yes, so we made a deal, and the deal was this: I wasn't going to take any money for helping him with the books or editing or co-writing. I took no money, and I said, let's try to get these books sold and use that money to get your family here. And that was our deal.
And it happened?
It did.
Now, we're going to roll a video here that brings it all together. It's Siam Pasarly and Robert Farrell and myself and the mayor of Lincolnwood, the Lincolnwood Chamber of Commerce, and Siam's family at the ribbon cutting.
Good morning. My name is Robert Farrell. Welcome to Level Up. Thank you for being here. None of this would be possible without my friend Siam. I also want to thank, and I'm going to have a couple people come up and say a few words. Linda Buvalam from Lincolnwood Chamber of Commerce, Republic Bank, Ariana from Republic Bank, and the good people at Republic Bank. We've got Bill Morton, Chamber of Commerce, Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. And I want to thank all the vendors who are here. Thank you for being here. Job seekers, talk to everyone. There are some really great people here with a lot of opportunities. So thank you for being here.
The Lincolnwood Chamber is a business membership organization. Our office is also here right behind Mariana. If you have any questions, please let us know. And Mariana?
And thank you for a great turnout. We are also hiring, so we have a table here. And we also welcome all the businesses and consumers to bank with us and open accounts with the Republic Bank. So thank you all for coming. And someone just made the grand entrance. It's our mayor of Lincolnwood, Jaisal Patel. So I don't know. Do you want to say a few words?
Welcome everybody to Lincolnwood. Thank you for coming. To all the employers, thank you for bringing your opportunities here. To those looking for work, it's great to have you out here. We hope we can help you make the connection. Thanks to the Lincolnwood Chamber of Commerce for helping to put this on, and certainly to Republic Bank for hosting. Welcome to Lincolnwood.
It's an honor and a pleasure to be here amongst the job seekers and the employers. We are the stimulators of our local economy. We are the ones who are making it happen, and us all together deserve the round of applause right now.
He is the man of honor, and he's supporting me from the beginning. We are friends from a long time. Thank you very much. So I'm going to now invite Mark Vargas. I met him, and he's a big deal. He's a political advisor. He is running a big Illinois newspaper. I can request come here and just share his thoughts, and then we will do the big.
Thank you, Siam. I'll be very, very brief, but let's give a round of applause for Siam and his family. What an incredible story, and for helping to organize this. Mr. Mayor, Republic Bank, the local chamber, all of these businesses, you really are the engines that drive our economy. Conditions are not always easy. Siam and I had a kindred spirit. I did economic development work in Iraq, took 14 trips to Baghdad, helping to rebuild a war-torn economy. But the work that you're all doing, to see so many faces here, so many businesses represented, you're probably wondering why a national TV personality and newspaper owner is doing here, but I'm just here to support all of you. Anything that I can do to make your businesses a success, to help you find work, it's so important now more than ever. And as you know, there's strength in numbers. It takes a village. So thank you all for being here, and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Job Fair is for the first time at Republic Bank in Lincolnwood. We are here to celebrate this all together, to hire people and to find jobs and to work together to do it. You may cut the ribbon.
1, 2, 3.
All right, that was beautiful, wasn't it?
That was a lot of fun.
And I'll tell you, that was a great, very successful job fair.
It was.
They're all very successful.
They have been. We've been very fortunate.
And I think that it's really a wonderful thing. You saw Siam with his wife and his child. You saw even Trudy made an appearance on the show today. Believe it or not, she's not present. She was present.
She was still with us.
She was still with us.
Awesome.
So this was at this job fair was the most recent one at Republic Bank in Lincolnwood.
Yes, 3443 West Toohey Avenue in Lincolnwood on the mezzanine level, and I'm mentioning that because that's where our next one will be.
Okay, and the next one is going to happen Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. And usually I don't mention dates, but this one's far off enough. And Wednesday, December 11th, 2024 at Republic Bank, and the address?
3443 West Toohey Avenue. It will be from 10 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon.
All are welcome. If you want more information, you can visit the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce website, rogerspark.cc. That's that one right there, right down there. rogerspark.cc, CC for Chamber of Commerce. You can also give us a call at 773-850-0049 if you'd like to participate as either an employer or a job seeker. Come on down. All are welcome, and it's a great time for all. And
I can also give you my phone number if you...
Go ahead.
It's 872-222-7717.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Say it one more time a little slower, please.
872-222-7717.
Wonderful. And Robert is actually the go-to guy for that. We do have all of the information, including to link to the registration on our website, rogerspark.cc. But call Robert. Call Robert.
Call Robert.
Call me if you want to do something with the Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. You need some help with something. But we're a proud partner with the job fairs over all of these years, and everything else is wonderful with this. Any parting words?
Well, we appreciate Lincolnwood Chamber of Commerce, Rogers Park Chamber of Commerce. You guys have been with us, as you've said, from the beginning. We've had just some really great partnerships, and a lot of people like yourself who are supporting this and helping people get jobs, because that's if you have a job, you can go anywhere from there. And that's what we want to see happen.
And I don't know if I mentioned this, Robert has reviewed over 900 resumes.
Yes.
For job seekers. So it's the good work, and it's continuing on. It's extremely successful. It's helping so many people, and of course we fully support it.
Yes, and if you have a resume, again, call that number. I will review your resume free of charge.
Okay, and show us the books one more time, please.
So they are Escape from the Taliban. That's Siam's story of escaping Afghanistan. Be Your Own Boss, Be a Boss, Not Just a Leader, with Siam and I on the cover. And then Create Your Own Empire, and this is Siam's book. Start your business now.
Excellent. Let me check. Be your own boss here for a second. Siam Pasarly. He's an award-winning motivational speaker, writer, and entrepreneur. So thank you so much for joining us on Community Unity
Thank you.
Now.